Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about the dulcimer strumstick. In this video I'll be explaining the relationship between this G tuned dulcimer and this D tuned dulcimer. That's golf tuned dulcimer and delta tuned dulcimer. So let's get started. If you to get the most from this lesson, you'll have needed to have seen the previous two this week. This is a golf tuned dulcimer, that's G, D, G. And we learnt the chords G, E minor, Charlie, and delta. So that's golf, echo minor, Charlie, delta. Now that's on a G tuned dulcimer. If I was to pick up my D tuned dulcimer, this one here, the same chord positions because we're tuned differently become delta, B minor, golf and alpha. It's exactly the same chord shapes, they change because we're tuned differently. So this is delta, bravo minor, golf, alpha. So if I was to play a basic chord progression on this, now if I was to play the same chord progression on the G, you'll hear it's tonally the same, the gaps between each chord are the same, but it's tuned differently, so it sounds slightly different. So you can hear, it sounds the same, the gaps between the chords, the way they progress sounds the same, but because one's tuned higher than the other, it sounds different. Now, this is how it works. We are in the key of G on this instrument. So G is the first note in the scale of G. That's the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I'm not going to sing it, I can't sing. So G is the first note in the scale. The E minor, the E, is the sixth note in the scale. The C is the fourth, and the D is the fifth. So if I switch back to the D tuned dulcimer, D, we're in the key of D now, so the scale of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Please feel free to post a comment below about my singing. I know I can't sing. There's a D chord there. D is the first note in the scale of D. The B minor is the sixth note in the scale of D. The G is the fourth note in the scale of D. And A is the fifth note in the scale of D. Delta. So as you can see, we're using the first, sixth, fourth and fifth, but because we're tuned differently, the chords are different, but the chord shapes stay the same because the gaps between the strings, whether we're tuned in D or G, are the same musically, tonally to our ears. One sounds higher than the other. Now, you may ask, why do we do this? Well, depends what key you're singing. There are other keys you can play in, and I will cover that in future videos, but most people stick to the key of D for this one and G for that one. Basically because you can play any note on the fretboard and you won't be out of tune in the key of D on this instrument. Some sound better than others, but you won't be out of tune. So if you sang in the key of D, now something else I need to point out, you don't sing every song in the same key. You have a vocal range, and if you can sing the notes in the song in that range, that's the key you're singing, but it can change song to song. This is tune D. You can hear quite a deep sound, but it is a longer instrument, and this one is tuned to G, and you will hear tonally it sounds higher. Now where you sing, I don't know, that's up to you, but one of these tunings may suit. Like I said, I'll post other videos with how to play in other keys on the channel later. There are some up already explaining how to play in other keys on either this dulcimer or the other one, or strumstick, whatever name you wish to give them. So that's how it sort of sounds different. We're tuned higher. This is a short instrument, that's a longer one, that one's tuned to D, this one is tuned to G. But you notice we are using the first, the sixth as a minor, the fourth and the fifth note of the scales we are in. So this next bit now is how you can use it to play other songs. So let's say we're playing a song in the key of G. We'll keep it simple, and there's two chords. There's a G chord and there's a D chord. And let's just say it's 2 bars of each. So 2 bars of G, 1 and 2 and 3. And let's just say that was too high for you to sing. You simply pick up your D-tuned dulcimer, because it's tuned the same as the G but tonally higher. You just do the same chords again. This time you'll be in D. So as you can hear, I use the same chord shapes but on a different tuned dulcimer. So let's talk about the tunings. This is tuned D, A, D. D is the key we're in, A is the 5th note. Remember the 5th note of the scale of D. So it's D, A, D, or DAD tuning. If I was to pick up my G one, this is now G, D, G. G is the string nearest your chin, G is the string nearest the floor, and D in the middle. So G, the 5th note in the scale of G, the 5th note is D. So it's root, 5th, root, root, 5th, root. Like that one is root, 5th, root. So you can tune to any tuning really, as long as it's the root, the 5th note of the scale you're talking about. So if you're in A, this would be A, E, A. Then you'd be playing in the key of A. So you need the root and the 5th note in that scale. Now, whether the strings would take it is another thing. So you could retune this one, A, E, A, alpha, echo, alpha, and again that's root, 5th, root, and that will now be in the key of A. So the chords you play will have different names, but melodically, what you can play on one, you can now play in the key of A, and that might suit your voice better. This is why these instruments are tuned this way. You will notice there's a lack of frets like a guitar. There'll be another one here and another one here. Same on that, there's frets missing. They are on purpose, so whatever note you play will be in tune with the key this is tuned to. Like I said, I have got other videos up explaining how to play in other keys, but I'll post some new ones for people to enjoy. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see videos like that. So really what you need to know is the root you're in, the key you're in, and the 5th note. If it was C, it would be C, G, C. C, the root, 5th would be the G in the scale of C, and C at the bottom, root, 5th, root, key of C, C, G, C. And then once you know a song, you can then play it in different keys by retuning. Again, your strings may not take it, that depends on the length of the dulcimer and your string strength and stuff like that. But that's roughly how we can jump between the two. So once you know a chord progression on one, you can retune it to another tuning and you can play it in that key. So we'll stick to this one while it's on my lap. This is G, D, G, key of G. Let's just say you can't play it in the key of G. You can't sing it. You might be able to sing it in the key of A. So it's alpha, echo, alpha. Alpha, the string nearest your chin. Echo, the string in the middle, alpha, the strings nearer the floor, and you just use the same chord shapes. Now you'll be playing in the key of A, and that might suit your voice. So that's roughly how it works. So how you can make this work to find out other songs, you can do it like this. Let's just say you've got a chord progression you know in the key of G. And it's G, C, D. So it's G, C, D. If you didn't like that, you could tune this to A, E, A, alpha, echo, alpha, if the strings will take it, and the neck and the body of the dulcimer will take it. They're all built slightly differently. Some can take different tunings, some can't, so just be wary of that. If you repeated the same chord shapes, you'd be playing in the key of A. So them chords would change names. The G chord will become an alpha chord, the C chord will become a delta chord, and the delta chord will become an echo chord. So you'd be playing in the key of A, and that's roughly how the tunings work. But if you don't want to do that, I'll be posting more videos how to play in different keys without alternating the tuning. So I hope this video explained that to you. If it has, please give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to Blackpool Music School. The more thumbs up we get and the more subscribers we get, the more videos we will post. So until next time, take care, keep practicing, keep playing, and as always, goodbye.